Or like wraps or just like.
Yeah. Oh, we're live on Facebook.
All right, guys, we're live on Facebook.
Hey.
Hi, Facebook world. Facebook, is that what it is? Facebook world. Anyway, this is Donna Webb with Bright Sky Nutrition, and we are celebrating every Wednesday National Nutrition Month. And nobody knows it's National Nutrition Month except dietitians. So we're trying to spread the joy. So if you guys, I'm so glad you're with us tonight. And we have Sophia Nikolai and Caitlin Calhoun. And Caitlin is one of our boot campers. Say hi, Caitlin.
Hi.
And Sophia is kind of part of Bright Sky. She's kind of back of the house, right? Kind of behind the scenes, sort of. She does our emails and she does some social media. She helps us with some of our handouts. And Sophia's working to become a dietitian. She goes to Cox College and she'll be graduating in another year. She's got 1 year almost down and she'll have another year. And then she'll have her master's and be able to sit for her dietitian exam. So to become a dietitian, you have to do an internship. So she's doing her internship combined with a master's, and then she'll be able to sit for her RD exam. So, and then we're going to recruit her. Then we're going to pull her in.
You better.
And then we want her to be a Bright Sky dietitian. So we'll see. That's our plan. We don't know what God's plan is, but that's our plan. So anyway, so why don't you guys tell us what you're cooking tonight and where we're getting started?
Yeah, so we're gonna do some ground pork carnitas. So normally pork carnitas would be like pulled pork, but for this type of event, the pulled pork would have just taken so long. And so we're doing ground pork carnitas, and basically what that is, it's just a sweeter tasting pork, and it just makes a really like sweet and savory taco. And we're gonna do them in lettuce wraps.
Hey, that's awesome, Sophia. Is it just plain pork, or is there something in it? Is it like a seasoned pork, or what are you using?
So we're using the plain pork as the base, but then for the seasonings, we're gonna get out and I'll walk you through it, but it's cumin, it's some
I just meant was that pork that you're using, that doesn't have anything in it.
It does not have anything in it, no.
Okay. What's the fat meat ratio? Does it say on there like an 80-20 or?
This is 85% lean.
Okay. That'll be good. That'll have a little fat left in the pan. That sounds great.
Yeah. So 21 grams of protein per 3 ounces. So that's good. But yeah, we're going to use like these guys for our little tortillas. We're going to use these wraps or whatever, romaine hearts.
I love it.
Yeah. So we're going to start there, but we're also going to do a Fiesta lime side salad, which is really easy. And we'll start with that. We're going to chop up the sweet potatoes. We're going to put them in some hot water, boil them a little bit. They'll get a little tender. And then we'll just mix in our spices and it'll be good to go.
Yum. That sounds great. That sounds great.
What are you making, Donna?
I'm going to be making a smoothie. This is a smoothie that I think was created by Dr. Terry Walls. If you guys know Dr. Walls, her story is that she had MS and she was actually in a sit back chair. She was kind of not mobile, and she just self-investigated before it was popular to be healing things with whole food, and found that food, and nutrition was a major part of her disease. So anyway, she's the one that recommends 9 cups of vegetables a day, 3 cups of greens, 3 cups of stinky or cruciferous vegetables, and 3 cups of colored vegetables. Yes, add that up. 9 vegetables a day.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So anyway, so this was a smoothie I found on her, I think, Facebook page. And so we're going to put lots of great nutrition in it. We're going to use frozen carrots and frozen fruit and coconut milk, add a little olive oil, and blend that up. So just again, as another option, another choice for breakfast, just another thing to do. So yeah.
Very good. Okay, sweet. Well, guys, are we ready to get started? Does anybody have any questions?
Go ahead and go. Rick, any questions? Okay. Who do we have watching? Oh, okay. I want to do it on here. All right, you guys go ahead and start.
So I have a really small kitchen, so we're gonna just be like moving this this hunk of computer around. Do you want me to chop potatoes?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'll
she's
hold
gonna
it.
hold this for me. But
I'm the camera woman today, so
That's awesome.
Sophia's a good cook.
oh no, you're great too. So we're gonna start with chopping up our sweet potatoes. Also, it might be wise now to get out a pot of water and boil it. So I have on the stove just a pot of 3/4 full of some water. We're just getting that to a boil.
Awesome. And so you peeled them first too, right?
I did peel them, yes.
Okay.
And it's up to you. I mean, sometimes people like the skin, but for this recipe called for peeling. So if you prefer peeled, yeah, we can give you some time to peel really quick.
Right.
And I can even finish peeling because this isn't actually totally peeled. So,
Hey, while you're doing that, Sophia, I wanted to mention just for everybody, and I don't know if you remember this or not, but why we're pro pork fat.
yeah.
So you guys, if you've been to the boot camp, you know, one of the weeks we talk about all the different types of dietary fats and how they're all kind of a blend. They all have different kinds of the fatty acids in them. So you really, like, we have saturated, monounsaturated, omega-3s and omega-6s. So that's kind of the fatty acids that we consider healthy and natural, and those are the ones we need to get in our diet.
Yep.
And so any of the dietary fats, they're all kind of a little bit of all of them. So it's really kind of a misnomer to try and put a fat in a good or bad category,
Right.
because really they're a little bit of everything. And so when we talk about pork fat, and our favorite pork fat, of course, is bacon. And so that fat is about 40% saturated fat and about 40% monounsaturated fat. So it's actually got just as much of the good oil as it does of what we now consider more of a benign oil. But it's got, and so the monounsaturated fat, you know, is great for your heart health and for cardiovascular health. So anyway, that's why I just wanted to say that's why I kind of made a clapping noise when we talked about having at least 15% fat in your, 15, I think you said 85. So 15% fat in the pork that we're using. So
yeah,
everything needs to be contributing.
Yeah, and a lot of health information, you know, online will tell you to get like the lowest fat you can, but that's actually not necessary, as Donna just proved to you.
Exactly. And we love it. We love it.
So I don't know where everyone's at. I can't see anyone. Is that normal?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know where everyone's at with their chopping or slicing.
Well, we don't really necessarily, everybody's probably not doing it with you.
Cooking it with you.
Okay, perfect.
So go ahead and just be at your own pace. And if they are, they can jump in. But most people are just watching on Facebook Live.
Sweet. Okay, that makes me feel better. Because this is recorded, right? So people, if they want to make it later, they can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just chopping up my sweet potato. Our knives are very crappy, so we need new knives for our wedding present. But normally cutting sweet potatoes is a little harder just because they're really, really hard.
That's what I was wondering. Any tips on that?
So what I do is I cut them in coins first. Like thin coins, and I hold it really sturdy, and I never ever have my fingers near the blade, obviously. Like I'll hold the end of it, but I'll hold it down.
Okay.
But sometimes it's easier to cut it down the middle into like down hot dog style and then slice the sides and then
slice it. Okay.
But right now, my favorite way is I get them in coins.
Okay.
And then I just do I go real slow, and I just kind of put them in fours.
Yeah, that's very safe.
Yeah, just so I'm not, my fingers aren't there. I'm not gonna snap myself. So yeah, and then they're kind of ready, you know, they're just little pieces. So,
yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I would consider this like a larger dice.
Yeah, that's gonna be perfect. They're gonna be soft enough in your salad, so that's gonna be delicious. Yeah,
and we're boiling them just to be fork tender. We're not trying to make them mashed. To be honest, I don't really normally boil sweet potatoes. I usually saute or bake them, but I wanted to try something new tonight, so this recipe said to boil them. So
Great.
We'll do
Great.
it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we have a few people watching. We have Vanessa. She works at Greene County, and God love her, she had to see me today too. I did a webinar for Greene County today, and so she was on the webinar today. We were talking about brain and mood health and nutrition. It was really awesome. Really, really awesome.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it was great. And so anyway, so she reached out to me afterwards. So I know she saw me. She gets to see me twice today.
That's awesome.
And then we have Chris Zook is on too. He's one of our boot campers. We've got, I don't know, Connie's on too. Connie could help me out with this number better than me. She trying to figure out how many men we have in boot camp right now. I'm counting 6 or 8. I don't know. Wow. Connie, yeah, Connie's on, so maybe she can validate that number. I'm thinking it's probably about 6 or 8 men that we have in boot camp right now, and they nail it. Like, they are on top. They are doing great. Their recipes look amazing. So,
oh my gosh.
So yeah, it's really great. Yeah, Connie's saying about 8. So wow. I think that's about right. So yeah, but anyway, and then Connie's on, and then we have people that say they're sharers. I don't know what sharers mean, but that's okay.
Yeah, they shared the Zoom on their profile.
Oh, okay. Okay, very good. So yeah. Connie said couples are coming in strong too. We've got a lot of couples that are that have joined. So it's pretty cool, pretty much fun.
Cool.
So you got those cut fast.
Yeah, so I'm just going, I do a lot of sweet potatoes, but it's important to be careful, you know, with cutting them, just because they are very, very starchy and hard vegetable, and so it's just knife skills.
Yeah, and Caitlin loves to do sweet potatoes too. She's been doing a lot of sweet potatoes.
She was just telling me that.
Yeah, I love sweet potatoes in my air fryer.
That's
so I put them in my air fryer for 45 minutes, and then I put a little bit of butter on them, and then sometimes I put a little bit of cinnamon on them too.
Yum!
Caitlin, put your face in the camera.
I know, I'm sorry, I'm trying to make it to where we can see.
Oh, there you go. Well,
you guys see
Sophia for a second. There you go. Okay. Tell us that again, your air fryer trick.
Okay, so I put my sweet potatoes, I usually do 2 at a time and meal prep them. So I'll put a whole sweet potato in my air fryer with some olive oil and I think garlic salt. And then I do it for about 45 minutes. And then when it's time to eat them, I just cut it open and put a little bit of butter and cinnamon on it.
So delicious.
My favorite. It's really good because it like curbs my sweet tooth because it's that perfect amount of sweetness. So
yes, exactly. That is so perfect. That's so perfect. You're doing so great.
Thank you.
Golly. Yeah, and Caitlin has a really,
No, go for it. What were you saying?
No, I said Caitlin has a really busy lifestyle too. So it's hard for her to maybe have regular meal times, but she's doing fantastic. So yeah,
busy
doing totally fantastic.
So for the sweet potatoes, I'm just adding a little bit of salt to my water. That's just a personal preference. You don't have to do it.
Okay.
But we're just going to drop them in.
Awesome.
And I really, honestly, I love cooking, and I really don't think I've boiled sweet potatoes very much. I really don't. But it's okay. That's how we make white potatoes. So
exactly, that's how you make mashed potatoes.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
We're just gonna let this come to a little boil. It's already pretty much boiling, but we'll just let it get a little bit hotter, and then I'll simmer them, or at least put it down to low till they get fork tender. It should be about 10-15 minutes.
Okay, great.
So those are good. So now,
and then who knows what's good in sweet potatoes? Why are sweet potatoes such a superfood?
I'm not answering it. I'm not answering. Can somebody type it in?
Okay, out there in Facebook land.
Does anybody know?
Who knows what's good about sweet potatoes? All right, we'll give them. We're a little bit behind.
Give them a little minute to type it.
Okay, we'll just put that out there. First person to tell us what sweet potatoes are high in gets, what do they get?
No, I'm gonna look at this to see if people are.
They get a pat on the back. That's what Rick said.
Oh, someone said they love cinnamon on sweet potatoes. Oh, that was Bright Sky. It's my favorite. I'm looking at the comments now on the Facebook. So if you have a question,
awesome.
type
We're on
in.
top of it.
Oh, fun. I put sweet potatoes in literally everything. I think I honestly am surprised I'm not orange yet.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Really good idea.
It's a lot.
So the sweet potatoes are going to go in the salad, right?
Yes, it's the side dish. And so the idea is while a practical idea is while they boil, I can do other stuff. So I don't have to focus on that.
Perfect.
Because they do have to cool down just a little bit after they're done boiling. So it's supposed to be served as a cold salad, but I mean, for this case, you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter.
Yum. You know, I don't do sweet potatoes cold very often. That does sound good.
Yeah. Or at least room temperature. But
right.
So something with pork carnitas, this whole idea kind of was inspired. I went out to eat one night at like this little hole in the wall Mexican restaurant. And I never had a pork carnita before. I didn't know what it meant. And I ordered it. And it was the way they served it with the feta cheese and the pickled onions. It was like, I don't know. I think I grew taste buds for pork carnitas after that.
Wow.
So we do a lot of, this is inspired by that restaurant, but there are recipes online you can look up, obviously. But so part of that is the pickled onions. And sometimes people get intimidated by pickled stuff. They think it's a really hard process. But these are called quick and easy pickled onions.
My favorite kind of recipe right there.
So it's really easy. It's just you can either use apple cider vinegar, you can use rice vinegar, whatever, white vinegar. I'm going to use a little mixture of both. But it's that I do a little bit of salt, and then I use a little bit of monk fruit sweetener just for that. I don't know, it does something to the acidity, but it also makes it a little sweet. So this is my monk fruit sweetener. It looks like pure sugar, but it's not, I promise. That will lump in there. So I'm gonna get that pulled up because this one's a little different. So my knife. So for these guys, it's, it's kind of sliced. You want to slice the red onion. So, and another trick I was going to share. So a lot of people, when they make red onion or when they cut red onion, they cry.
Yes.
Red onions, just, I don't know what it is about them, but they seem to be, they make me cry more. And so I learned this trick, and if you and it might not work for everyone, so don't quote me, but for me, if I saturate a paper towel with cold water and I lay it next to the onion while I cut it, I don't get that at all.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the theory is that the reason you cry is because some enzyme in here, it's attracted to your eye juices, which is kind of, but it draws to where the water is. And so if you have another water source down, it changes the direction. So
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. Okay.
Once I learned that, I've been doing it ever since, and I love it. So
wow.
Yeah.
See, we're all learning so much. I need to be writing all this down.
You're fine. So for the onions, see what I mean? I'm kind of cutting them down this way.
Oh, okay.
So that they form rings.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I'm cutting these. And just because it's just me and Caitlin, I'm not going to cut a whole ton because it's just a topping.
Okay.
But yeah, so you just slice down the middle, real thin. If you like thick onions, that's fine too. And then I just pop them out like that. All right. So then I'm going to do, I think it's a 3rd cup. Where did my cup go? Here it is. So I'm just going to put a little bit of my vinegar. So I'm going to do a little bit of both. Remember, you don't have to do more than one. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm going to I just like apple cider vinegar a lot. So. All right.
The flavors sound great.
Yeah, it's great. So I'm going to put it in my bowl. Great. Just going to get my hands a little wet. A little bit of salt.
Perfect.
About a 4th teaspoon, but You don't have to be exact. And then I got my monk fruit sweetener again. You could probably get away with whatever Donna says. Stevia. I don't know how we feel about stevia. I don't know.
Yeah, we're good with stevia. We're good with pure or stevia or swerve and monk fruit.
I've heard of swerve, and I don't really know what that is.
All those products are kind of a stevia erythritol blend.
Okay.
Possibly xylitol. I think it's erythritol.
So I put a 4th teaspoon of the monk fruit sweetener. I'm actually going to add just a little bit more of apple cider vinegar. And then, and this is something that does not have to be exact. This is very foolproof. But it's really how you like the flavor, and you can check halfway through. But this recipe calls to actually put it in the microwave for just a couple seconds.
Okay.
So we are going to just get it in the microwave. Check out the microwave over here.
Sophia, tell them what we're making because we have a couple more people who just joined.
Oh, hi, joiners.
My mom joined, so hello, Mom.
Hi.
So we're making pork carnitas.
We're making sweet pork carnitas with some feta cheese and some homemade pickled onions on top. And then for the side, we're doing a cilantro lime sweet potato salad. And then Donna's doing some fun, awesome, healthy smoothie.
Healthy smoothie, yes.
Awesome.
Right.
All right, sweet potatoes are boiling. They're doing good.
Good.
Just turn them down.
Caitlin, your mom's in Indiana, isn't she?
She is in Indiana. Yeah.
Wow, we're interstate
now, right?
I'm a little disappointed that my mom didn't join. Okay.
Come on, Mom, where's she at?
I told her. I think she's working, so I can't really blame her.
Oh.
All right, so I heated it up for about 40 seconds, so it's just steaming, so that that solution's kind of hot. And I'm just dropping my onions in.
Okay.
That's it. And then you just let them sit while you cook your food.
Yeah.
By the end, they'll have that pickled flavor.
Okay, so how long are you supposed to leave them in? It doesn't matter, just...
Does not matter. If you like them a little milder, you could probably do like 20 minutes. But if you like them really, really strong, which I do, I leave them in just as long as it takes me to cook everything else.
Okay. I think Rachel Wimple does something like that. I think she does onions in, I can't remember what she puts it in. Vinegar. I think it's some sort of vinegar. I just don't remember which one. She hops on. We'll have to ask her.
It just, I don't know what it is. It just tastes so good with the feta cheese and the sweet pork. I don't know.
Ooh, yum. I bet. Yeah, that does sound good.
Yeah, these guys are just going to go in the corner and we're done.
Right.
We're done worrying about them for now. So these sweet potatoes are boiling. So that's good. I'm going to leave them boiling just for a hot minute and then I'm going to turn it down a little bit.
Okay.
But for the most part, those two are kind of set.
Right.
So for the sweet potato salad, I'm going to just prepare the onions. So we just need to, now for the sweet potato salad, we need to dice the onions.
Okay.
So instead of slicing, and there's a million ways to dice, but I just start by cutting off the sides. And then I flip them so they're flat, so I'm not risking that knife issue.
Okay.
So I'm simmering these. Sorry, they're overflowing. And then I just make little rows, real thin, down the middle.
She's not crying yet, so that paper towel trick must be working.
It really is working.
Good point, Caitlin.
Yeah. And then now that I've cut real thin down the middle and I've kept my fingers pinched, now I just go I turn it and it's like lattice. Then you go the opposite way.
Okay.
So that's getting them real small. Yeah. And then when it gets really kind of thin like this, I might flip them the other way to just, again, protect my fingers.
Yeah.
But yeah, knife skills are just really something, they're really easy to learn. Sometimes it just takes trial. I don't want to say trial and error. That sounds really scary. But it just takes practice.
Uh-huh.
So, okay, those are good. just gonna wipe my hand.
Moving right along.
And these sweet potatoes are gonna simmer. I'm gonna let them simmer for like 10 minutes so I can move on to others.
Okay, perfect.
So I think we're gonna do the meat now. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
All right. So I said I was trying a little bit new recipe tonight, but I do make these all the time. So I think we know what's going on. But I think I'm gonna prepare my ingredients first, just because that whole idea of, what is it called, mise en place or whatever.
What?
It's mise en place. It's like the French way of saying everything in place before you cook.
Oh,
That's a new one for me.
We learned that in college. We learned that, and our professors would be so mad if we did not have everything ready.
Oh, love it.
Okay, so since these red onion guys are for the sweet potato salad, my hands are washed. Nobody be alarmed. I'm gonna move them. Actually, where's that? To this cutting board. Just so I have them out of the way. We're gonna move that over here.
Just setting it to the side.
Again, I have a very small kitchen, so it's hard. Now for the pork carnitas, we are switching gears and we're gonna use a yellow onion.
Oh, okay.
Instead, there's a million ways to peel an onion. I don't know. Sometimes I just cut the onion and then rip off the peel. What do you do?
I always rip the peel off after I cut it.
Yeah.
I feel like it comes off easier that way.
Cut it, yeah. Peel it off kind of when you cut it.
All right, so these guys are going to be diced as well. This onion actually looks kind of mean. I don't know. So I'm gonna start by cutting off the corners. Real gentle. And pretty much everything is good there. And then I'm just gonna do half of it because, again, it's just me and Caitlin, but if you had a larger party, you could do more. So I've got half my onion, same method, real thin.
Excellent.
Pinch my fingers each time.
And those are going to go into the pork.
This is going in the pork, and we're going to put it in first so they can get translucent. Onions take a little bit to get. I love putting onion and garlic in my oil before I add anything else.
That sounds good.
Ooh, yeah.
Because it just gets that flavor, like almost reduced, but very potent.
Fabulous.
Before you do the rest. So I think
that's so great.
Okay. Now it does call for, so I'm going to move. So on my cutting board, I usually just make little colonies of different vegetables.
Colonies.
Because I like to take pictures.
Wow.
But yeah, so I'm just going to move that little colony over there. And then
put
these over here.
We're learning all these new words tonight too.
I know her vocabulary is very good.
It's like ant colonies. Honestly, I've never said that before. I don't know where that came from. So it's saying to seed and chop up this jalapeno. Now, if you don't like spice, please don't put the jalapeno in.
Okay.
I mean, not everybody likes hot pepper. So I'm gonna.
Does Kaylin like spice?
I like a little bit of spice, but just a little subtle spice.
Little heat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm using my tiny little knife now, and I cut off the end, and then I just like cut along in the middle, kind of.
Push them out. Okay.
To get the seeds.
Get those seeds out of there.
Yeah, because the seeds are the heat.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of like keeping the seeds, but not everybody does. So. You like spice though, so we should be fine.
I do. Yeah. Okay. We should be good.
Yeah.
Just rip it down the middle, and then I can pull out all that extra stuff. But yeah, so real fine knife for the jalapeno. Just gonna slice it up.
Nice.
And then I'm actually gonna take my bigger knife then and just do this.
Okay, dicing them up.
Yep. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, we're gonna try to increase the surface area in the food.
I'm gonna move this so you can see a little bit more. Let me know if you have trouble seeing.
Sorry guys. We need a bigger kitchen for Christmas.
Right?
My husband said he's starting to smell onions. So you guys we must have smell-o-vision. So
yeah, we have smell-o-vision going. That's so nice.
You've done so many onions, we're starting to smell them over here.
I wonder if that will ever become a thing. Smell
food.
Smell, you never know.
Literally smell
never
a
know.
vision. All right. So I'm gonna add my olive oil to my pan. Wanna bring her over. So this is my best friend, my extra virgin big guy from Costco, but we don't have a Costco. This is from Wisconsin.
Not yet.
I know, but I don't measure olive oil. I just kind of do a little zigzag like that.
Excellent.
Because you don't have to micromanage every single thing you do.
The potatoes look good.
Yeah, the potatoes are getting, so I'm just going to take out a potato and kind of drop it there, and we're going to see how tender they are. They look actually, yeah, they're done. That was really fast. So I'm going to move them. So those sit for a hot second. We're not in any rush to work with those quite yet. Where should I put these? I guess I'm going to keep them back here. So while I heat up this skillet, this is my cast iron skillet that I got.
Wow, I'm impressed. That's awesome.
I love my cast iron. Use it for everything. What is the theory with those again, Donna? They keep nutrients or whatever.
Yeah, I think they're supposed to have I think the iron is supposed to be leaking into the food too. So
Wow.
All my iron deficient friends, there you go. So I'm just gonna, again, that the oil is already heating, so I'm gonna drop the onions in. Turn it down. Sorry, Kate.
No, you're fine.
You need a tripod.
I know.
Okay. And the pepper. So I'm gonna put the jalapeno pepper in as well.
I'm gonna move to this side and just set it up right here.
Perfect.
Oh, there we go.
That way you can see a little better. I'm just gonna move a couple things.
All right. So these guys are gonna,
Careful.
yeah, we can get rid of that candle. I just had it. So these guys are sauteing in the oil. So they're gonna get nice and translucent so that the flavor kind of leaks out. We're just gonna let that go for a hot second.
That works.
Before we add our pork.
That's gonna add so much flavor to that oil. Oh my goodness.
Honestly, this is kind of nasty to some people, but I could literally just eat these vegetables in a bowl.
That is so cool.
Onions and garlic and oil.
Yeah. And we love talking about those stinky vegetables and how great they are for our body, for our brain, and for our stomach health. And yeah, that's so fantastic for glutathione and homocysteine. And it's just awesome.
They're good.
Load up.
Aren't prebiotics within garlic and onion?
Those two. Yep.
They feed your good gut bugs.
Definitely.
Gut
Absolutely.
bugs.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, gut health is such a complex but uprising thing. Everyone's starting to talk about it now.
Well, probably need to talk about it even more. We were at our webinar we did today. We were talking about how serotonin, which is so important to manage our mood and to kind of lift our mood. 95% of our serotonin is made in the stomach by those good bugs. So imagine if you don't have good microbiome, you don't have good gut bugs, don't have flourishing and diverse gut bugs, you don't have anything to make that happy hormone. And I also kind of have noticed that a lot of my younger clients who come in and they're wanting to lose weight and they've got stomach issues, and I happen to notice they also are on anxiety medication or depression medication. And so that all kind of goes together in my mind. Their mood issues might also be a nutrition issue.
Yeah.
And nobody really puts those together. So I'm so excited about that. So about knowing that and knowing how we can help people's mood and energy and feel so much better when you have good nutrition.
Because that's a huge motivating factor too.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a thing.
If you want to show, I don't know if we can really show, actually, let me see. So again, I'm on my laptop, but this is kind of what I'm talking about. So these vegetables are nice and translucent. You can kind of see through them.
Yes, they look fabulous.
So they are ready to, I'm ready to add the pork.
Yum.
So I'm just going to add this. I wish I could see better here. All right, that works. So I'm just gonna add this pork in, and honestly, I'm just gonna go for it, the whole thing. And you can use, sometimes like a mashed potato masher works really well for this, but I just break it up. I'm sure we've all made ground beef, so it's the same. It's pretty much the same.
Good. And since there's so much fat, I imagine it's easier to maybe chop up. I don't know. That's my theory.
Yeah, I think this came off in there, so I'm gonna throw that away. Don't cook plastic, my friends. All right.
Go.
So we are this is gonna get nice and brown, and once it gets nice and ground up and browned, we'll add up the rest of our spices.
Hey.
So.
It smells good already. I'm excited.
Oh, I bet.
I'm trying not to make it too loud. I want to be able to. We actually just went to Aldi, and well, this weekend we went to the farmer's market. We got a bunch of meat. I was telling Donna, I tried to make liver this weekend, which is not for everyone. I wish I liked it because it's very nutritious. It really is. But we ended up we got like a whole chicken, an organic chicken. We got some beef. But then I went to Aldi the next day, and they have really good organic ground beef there.
Oh, okay.
I really like it. It's really good.
That's what Rachel Wemple keeps telling me. I need to get going to Aldi's.
Yeah, I never was a huge Aldi person, to be honest. Until I think Rachel Wemple got in my head.
She does that, doesn't she?
All right, this is just gotta heat up a little bit, so we're gonna let that happen. But I'm gonna add some fresh garlic. So I am a big fan of pre-chopped garlic. As you can see, I use a lot of it. It is almost gone, but this stuff is so easy and it's so worth it. I mean, you can get it at Sam's Club, right?
Yeah. We want to do anything to eliminate steps. So if that eliminates steps, that's the way to do it.
So a half a teaspoon counts as 1 clove. So like this meal calls for 2 cloves. So I'm just going to do 1 teaspoon.
Okay.
But I'm going to make it heaping because I love my garlic.
That's right. They didn't say you couldn't make it heaping. So there you go.
Make it heaping. It's not going to hurt you. I can go there. All right. So this is starting to brown a little bit more.
Great.
Like that.
Do a little close up of the meat.
Yeah, it's looking really good. It smells really good too.
Awesome, beautiful.
It's got some color in there.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll wait till it all gets brown.
Great.
Okay. So I'm gonna add my salt and pepper and my cumin.
Okay.
So actually, this cumin is actually like I would say one of the key ingredients in this dish. I don't know if you've ever had cumin or anybody watching, but it's just it's very unique. I don't know how to explain cumin. It's just really savory and spicy and kind of like Indian dish smelling. Yeah. But it makes these tacos like amazing. So I'm just gonna dump my little spice guy.
How much are you doing?
I'm doing a half a teaspoon.
Okay.
You do not have to measure. Again, see, I'm almost out. Oh. So I'm just gonna sprinkle that over, and it's just gonna really like sit in there and give it really good savory flavor. And then I'm gonna add. It calls for just a little. Where did my salt and pepper go? Salt and pepper. You just use as much as you need. I mean, really, in terms of flavor, I don't know. Everyone's palate is different with how much salt they need. I mean, I just do enough, and I'll taste it at the end too. But I'm using sea salt. I like my sea salt, so doesn't pour as nicely, but okay. A little bit of pepper. All right, we're gonna let this simmer away. So the meat is already pretty much brown, and that was what, like 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Right, it goes quick.
It's really fast. And it's a lot of meat too. It's not like, you know, we'll probably have some leftovers tomorrow. All right. So I'm gonna turn this heat down to like halfway between low and medium.
Okay.
So it can kind of cool down there. All right. So it says, now this is where my bias comes in. It says to drain the grease, but I don't drain my grease. I like the grease. Kind of back to that whole fat conversation that Donna was having with you. I don't drain my fat. So
yeah.
It's up to you though, but yeah, I don't drain it. I'm just trying to see here. So we're gonna let that
No, it's not up to them. It's up to me.
your dietitian.
We need the fat for fuel. Everybody knows that.
Yes, you're right. I tried to please everyone. So I need to have your fat, eat your fat. All right, so this is pretty much good. Again, we're just gonna let it sit there. And so this recipe, it's a little weird, but it does call for orange juice. This is a half cup orange juice. I try to look, I don't drink a lot of fruit juices, but for cooking, I think it's okay. But we always get the one just with no added anything. It's just squeezed oranges.
Juice, I love it. Yep.
Yeah, it's the Florida's natural, no pulp, but it makes good for sweeter meat if you want.
Okay.
I'm gonna open this puppy up.
Yeah, all those flavors do sound amazing together.
They really are. I mean, yes, carnitas are my favorite.
Yeah.
So
with those pickled onions and that juice and it's coming together for me.
So
I'll be right over.
Yeah. Are you on your way? We'll save you some. So I just put the orange juice in, and now this is where we just kind of do our simmer thing, because then that juice can really saturate the meat and all that sweetness can come through.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna kind of see, with me with cooking, I'm kind of a jumbled cooker. I don't really do one thing at a time, and maybe in certain circumstances that would be helpful, but whatever can sit for a while, I just typically will move on to the next thing that is
there
ready.
You go. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no method in the kitchen. So. Let me do that. All right.
Looks good.
So our potatoes, we're gonna go back to those guys. So these guys have cooled off. They're ready to drain. So I'm gonna get my lid here because I have a lid with like a drain in it. But you could use a coriander, or what's it called? Coriander? I don't know what that.
Colander.
Colander, thank you. Coriander is a spice. Don't
I just call it a strainer.
Strainer.
Strainer. I'm looking at my spice rack. Coriander.
That works. Yeah.
Okay.
So
let's see.
Works.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, you don't have to show this, but I'm just gonna dump out the water.
There's the meat up close.
And let that
Ooh.
Looks good.
And now these are going to cool off. So, I mean, we have a little lull, Donna, if you want to do your smoothie.
I was thinking about that. I'm going to grab
mine.
Perfect.
We've got lots of time. Yeah, you could set it right here.
Okay. I said, you guys, this is a superfood. So I'm doing something just a little bit different. I want to put some frozen fruit. And then the recipe actually calls for 2 full carrots. But I had a thought, what if we did frozen carrots? They'd be a little bit easier to blend up. They're also going to give that smoothiness of the texture that we want in a smoothie. And I'm also going to grab my tropical fruit.
I feel like the frozen carrots would be more, give it more texture.
So I get this product at Sam's Club. I kind of love it. It's tropical fruit. It's got mango and strawberries and bananas and pineapple. And so I love to do some smoothies with fabulous. And so we're gonna put this in there. Yeah, I think I gotta break this apart just a little bit. And then I got frozen carrots to put in my smoothie as well. So it calls for just chopping up two whole carrots. But I'm gonna go ahead and just do this frozen carrots. I wanna see how this works in it too. So I'm gonna put, about a half a cup. Let me grab a measuring cup. You guys might have noticed that I don't have an oven right now. So Sophia caught that right away. We just are waiting for a new oven. It's in the garage now. We just haven't put it in yet. So our oven, the glass door exploded a few weeks ago, actually several weeks ago. It was when we were watching the Chiefs in the playoffs, and just as the game was starting, my kitchen door glass exploded all over the kitchen. So it took us, I think it was 8 weeks or something to get an oven. Apparently appliances are really on back order right now, which I did not know. But anyway, so we got our oven, but we haven't had time to install it. So probably after we're done here, we'll probably get that all hooked up.
Wow. What have you been cooking with then? Your air fryer?
My air fryer, it's been a little rough. Like, can't do like scrambled eggs. I guess you could do those in the air fryer, but we did.
Yeah.
Have you done anything like that?
I've done shrimp, potatoes, and I do a lot of roasted vegetables.
Ooh, yes. That sounds
chicken
great.
Too. Chicken's pretty good in there.
I haven't done chicken in there. How do you do your chicken?
So I just chop it up in like 1-inch pieces because I like little chicken nuggets. And then we made like a homemade Chick-Fil-A sauce that I found on Pinterest.
Ooh.
Yeah. I just threw it in the air fryer with a little bit of olive oil. And then I can't remember, I think garlic salt probably.
What was in the Chick-Fil-A sauce?
Oh man, it was like mayonnaise or avocado mayonnaise. And then I don't remember the seasonings that were in it, but I can post it in the Bright Sky page. For
yeah, in our boot camp group. That sounds great on our Facebook group.
Because that sauce is so good.
Yeah. So I got coconut milk, and you guys know when you get canned coconut milk, it's so thick. It is just so high fat. I actually have this one, and I have another coconut milk. I think I'm going to blend them. I have one that's not quite as watery as the cartons, but I got it for another recipe we did a few weeks ago. You guys remember we did that chia pudding?
Yeah.
So I'm going to do this one. I'm going to put about a 1/3 cup. That'll be roughly 17 grams of fat or so in that one. And then, like I said, I'm going to grab a little bit more. That's kind of in between the canned coconut milk and the carton coconut milk. So this one has about 9 grams of fat per 1/3 cup. So we're going to use a little bit of that just to loosen it up a little so it's not quite as thick. I'm going to do that. And I put about 2/3 cup of this loosened up milk. And then we're also going to add a little bit of almond butter.
Ooh, yum.
And that in there as well.
Now, is this supposed to be a breakfast smoothie, or is this a smoothie you can have or for any time of the day?
I think it could be a breakfast smoothie. It's going to be really like power packed. So the only thing I don't know if it quite gets up there is with the protein. But if you wanted to bump up the protein, you could always add a little protein powder to it. And that'd be fine. Or maybe even some Greek yogurt to it. That would work too. Yeah. So I'd probably do that in this. We've got the almond butter, but that's only about 7 grams of protein. That's really the only protein source in this. So yeah, so I'm doing about 2 tablespoons, a little bit more, about 4 tablespoons of the almond butter in this. All right, I will tell you, this also called for something I don't have, and I wish I did. Actually, it called for Brazil nuts, and I just couldn't find them anywhere. So the stores I was going to didn't have them, but that's really, really good for your thyroid. So that's why I think this is kind of one of those super kind of shakes where it's got these very specific additions for very specific nutrition in it. So that's why I think it's pretty cool. So there we go. I might mute myself while I run this up. What do you guys think?
Yeah, go for it.
It's going to be noisy. All right, I'm going to mute. You guys talk. I'm going to mute.
Perfect.
I think Brazil nuts are also a very good source of selenium. So I remember when I was having some mineral deficiencies, I remember my chiropractor was telling me to eat Brazil nuts. So
Wow.
they're tasty too. I really like them.
I've never had a Brazil nut.
They're good. They're large. I mean,
Wow.
they're kind of intimidating.
What are they
They're good.
comparable to? Like, what do they taste most like?
They're kind of, have you ever had a macadamia nut?
Yes.
It's kind of like that. Like, it's very hard, very crunchy, but it's kind of got that like taste, but it's it's kind of hard to explain. You will just
Just gotta try it.
You'll
Yeah.
just have to have a Brazil
Just gotta
nut.
taste it.
Yes.
That smoothie is looking good.
Looks very creamy.
I love smoothies.
Yes. I was just gonna add, so for the carnitas, while Donna's blending, I squeeze half of a lime into the meat after. So once it's done simmering, I'll take this and I will kind of just, these are pretty, they're not very ripe yet, but I'll just get some lime juice in there just to give it that citrusy flavor. That should be good. All right, so these are still simmering. Yeah. So the longer this pork sits in the juice, the more sweet it will be. So it just depends on how sweet you like your meat to taste. Which typically we don't think of meat being sweet, but
No, I don't.
absolutely can be. All right.
Oh, that looks good.
It's really creamy.
But it's all natural orange. It's all natural color. It's all beta carotene and
I love the color of it. Yummy.
Yum. Donna, I'm gonna need some of that.
right.
Yum. Are you gonna try it for us?
Give us a little taste
Yeah,
test.
try it, Rick. See if you like it.
Have you had that before, Donna?
No, it's really
Nope.
good.
First time?
It's got a lot of that almond taste to it. I might have added a little more of the fruit next time. You could use a little bit of sweet. It doesn't look orange. It looks orange. It looks orange.
I think it's the perfect color of orange.
It's really pretty.
Yes. It's like a pastel.
Yeah.
Sophia likes our meat so far, so that's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Good. Excellent.
All right. So where are we at? Do you want me to move on to this? We're pretty much done. We can do the sweet potato side.
Let's plate it up. Yep.
Perfect.
So we're just gonna finish up the sweet potato. So we're gonna let Kate kind of assemble it, and I'm just gonna tell her kind of what to
You
do.
tell me what to do.
Nice.
Boss me around.
So, so what I did here, for the sweet potato salad, it calls for. I already mixed it. I know my lighting sucks, so let me try to change my lighting here.
There we
So,
go. Yep.
this is 2 tablespoons of olive oil, some fresh garlic, some salt, pepper, cayenne pepper, and oregano. And that is what gets sprinkled on or mixed in the sweet potato salad.
Okay.
I'm
Did you say lime?
We're gonna add the lime. We're gonna squeeze lime on top
Later.
of it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry. Jumping ahead.
And we also have our onions here. So, do you feel comfortable cutting cilantro?
I've never cut cilantro,
Okay.
but I can.
It's really just
You're like a pro at the chopping.
I can cut the cilantro for us. Just I don't want to put her on the spot.
If we're teaching you how to cut cilantro, I'm not the best person to do it. So,
So I just take. I mean, okay. So you really sometimes some people don't like the stem at all. So if you prefer, you could get a bunch. You could pick it off and make a pile. Or sometimes it's easier to just take the stem, go towards the end and just kind of slide down and the leaves just kind of come right off. I personally am weird and I like the stems, so I just cut, but that's just me. I don't think there's any adverse health effects to eating the stem. But just for time's sake, I'm just gonna kind of take a bunch in my hand. I'm gonna grip it really tight so it gets that density, and then I'm just gonna kind of slice like that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and that's probably all we need. I mean, we don't need a ton of cilantro because cilantro is very strong. And so a little bit goes a really long way.
Right. Yeah.
But it just makes these tacos really good. And it also makes the sweet potato salad really good. So, okay, Kate, I'm going to let you assemble it.
Perfect.
So we're just going to do it right in the pan. I mean, I think so. Why not? We're not going to make more dishes because we're all about easy, right?
Right.
So we're going to get our pan here. The sweet potatoes are completely cooled. The pan is cooled.
Oh, yum.
Ready to go? All right. So I'm just going to have
Perfect.
it.
So just put it all in.
Yep.
Awesome. So there's the cilantro. I love onions. I'm excited about the onion.
Ooh. So you put it right in the pot. That's awesome.
That's what I'm doing just because.
Great idea.
Dish, but if you want to save some dishes, then that works.
Mm-hmm. It's perfect.
Okay. Awesome. And then do we mix before the oil? Oh,
Yep, you can put all the oil into all of that. This is all the spices in the oil that I've already pre-mixed together. So,
oh yeah, we need a full spoon. Perfect. This looks so good. I'm excited for this.
yeah.
All right.
And then after that, I'm gonna take half of the lime. These are really hard, Kate. So I'm just gonna take half a lime and I'm just gonna squeeze it all in there.
Okay.
To get it really, it's called Fiesta lime. So my limes are not very ripe, so this kind of stinks, but I'm doing what I can.
Sometimes when we squeeze limes, I stick a fork in there and kind of that helps to loosen it up a little bit, and it just helps to.
That's a really good idea. Let's try it.
Yeah, and then you can kind of squeeze it around the fork, and the fork kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Just get a lot more juice if you do it
Oh
that. That's how we do it.
You are so right. Oh, Donna Webb. What would I do without your wisdom?
I know. I'm trying to advance the world in lime juice.
Whoop, drop one. All right. So
being a pioneer.
This is pretty much done. So, yeah, I'm just gonna take. Here's what it looks. Oh, you want to switch the lighting for them? Here's what it looks like in there.
Maybe,
so it's
all
the goodies.
Yes.
Mix that up.
Nice.
That
smells so good.
That's the sweet potato lime salad.
Now, do you eat that on your carnita or as a side?
No, I would have it as a side. You could absolutely eat it on top though if you wanted.
Oh, that's a neat idea. Kind of a bowl sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's after. It's all ready there.
Oh, yum.
And then the carnitas are pretty much done. So we can kind of come over here. I'm just going to get like one plate and I'll assemble it for them so they can see.
Yes.
Switch over here.
All right.
Okay.
So all of this is really good. It's been simmering and it's ready to go. So I'm just going to get rip off the end. But these are just romaine hearts. And they kind of are little boats for tacos. So if you want an alternative to a higher carb, if you want an alternative to higher carb options, this is a great way because it's very low carb.
Very, very perfect.
And it's got good nutrients. All right, so this is really easy, guys. We're just gonna scoop like you're making a taco. I'm just gonna get, and I might even do two, just because it's probably more realistic to do two. But yeah, these just make little boats.
Yes.
All right. And so those are good. And then now here's where the onions are probably ready by now.
Oh, I forgot about those.
So as you can see, a way to know if it's pretty good is the water will turn a little pink.
Okay.
The water's pink, and
nice.
I'm just gonna put a couple of these guys on there.
Oh.
All right.
Yes, looks fantastic.
And so I was just gonna say for toppings, I also always do feta with these. Feta and
Yum.
pork tastes really great together.
Mm-hmm.
So I just do this feta.
Oh, that's cool. It's got a little opening.
So it
Shake
has an
out.
opening.
Little lid or a little spout. Yeah.
Nice. So I'm just gonna dump my feta.
Wow, that looks so good.
And you can
Get a close
obviously, if you wanted, you could top with some fresh cilantro.
Nice.
And another option too, I do have this on hand. The recipe did call for salsa verde. This is store-bought. The ingredients, there's only 4. It's the tomatillos, chili peppers, onions, salt. So pretty clean. Very clean.
Yeah, very clean.
Add this on top too. For time's sake, I'm not going to actually open it up and do it, but it's very good on these. And
Is that hot? Is that?
It's really not. No, it's mild.
Very hot. Okay.
It's considered mild to, yeah. So it's the least hot.
Got it.
And then we're going to come over here. Oh, sorry.
You're fine.
And we're just gonna, I'm going to do a big scoop because again, there's really no carbs here other than a little bit in the orange juice, but then on the side. So sweet potatoes, well, you do still want some carbs, so sweet potatoes are good.
It's perfect. Perfect balance. I love
Oh,
it.
that is.
Oh my gosh. Beautiful
So good.
plate, Sophia. Caitlin, you guys just did a beautiful job. Oh,
We're done.
gorgeous.
Wow.
Gorgeous.
Yay.
Yay.
I'm gonna try
You
one.
have to do a taste test.
That sweet potato salad is bomb.com.
Are the men coming home to eat with you guys?
My husband is.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah, and the carnitas are really good too. And with that onion and the
Okay.
feta, I would highly recommend trying this at home, guys.
I'm so convinced. You guys did awesome. Thank you, everybody, for cooking with us tonight. Go out
Really
and
fun.
eat whole food. All right. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you, Donna.
Bye. Thanks.
You're amazing.
Bye, everyone. Have a great night.